Hi, welcome to Spirit. I am Chief Lawson. I am the founder of Spirit, and today we continue our series on paranormal questions. Today's question is asked by an unidentified viewer. I am a skeptic. Can you prove to me paranormal exists? Okay, very interesting. No, I want to say today that this content is prepared by Andrew Brooks and myself. Andrew Brooks is my chief of staff, and I want to thank him for his hard work on this. The simple answer is no. I'm no more able to convince a skeptic of the existence of the paranormal than a skeptic can convince me my experiences are unreal. So, the belief of the paranormal is deeply personal belief based on one's own personal experiences and not changed easily. The paranormal is rarely made up of blinding light of the obvious. More often, paranormal experience usually consists of the subtle, strange noises, unexplained shadows, or events that happen in the lucid hours of the night. We run across many skeptics throughout the field. Matter of fact, we have some on our team. And I think skepticism is a healthy, certainly a healthy add-in to our team and its operation. Everyone that gravitates toward parapsychology, I truthfully believe has something happen. Again, whether it be a blinding light of the obvious type of situation or another occurrence, but something happens that brings them to the belief of paranormal. My personal experience when I got into paranormal studies was when I was very, very young, and I got very interested in the subject matter. My father, who is now passed on, had told me of a time when his mother appeared to him and his two brothers and sisters shortly after her death, sat on the bedside, combed down her hair, and assured them that they would be okay and everything would be all right. That stuck with me, and the fact that my grandfather also was very much steeped in ghost lore, and I really got interested and started studying it at a very young age. We're talking 8-10 years old. I got very interested in ghost stories where other kids were reading unusual primers or usual primers, whether I was out looking for the paranormal ones. I got interested in cryptozoology and many things, but that's usually something of a trigger nature that drives one back to that blinding obvious of its existence. Here, one thing I can offer is I have met many people who were once skeptics and had that blinding light of the obvious moment, and now are complete believers in ghosts and the afterlife and the paranormal. However, I've never met anyone that went the other way, a former believer who became a skeptic. And that's true. I mean, if you think about it, no one can tell you that they've known someone who was completely a believer in the paranormal that suddenly the next day became a skeptic and didn't want anything to do with it. So I will tell you, we have a paranormal university class which is on another video, but during one of those classes we had a couple come in, okay, and the woman was a devout believer in the paranormal, we'll say, and he was not. He was very skeptical. I think he thought that most of the class was going to be bull, and he wasn't overly happy. And I was kind of concerned because I thought at some point I may have to actually ask him to leave the classroom, because I wasn't sure if he was going to be one of these guys that was going to cause a problem or hackle during the entire course. He wasn't. He was very nice, very professional actually, and he did all right in that respect. But by the time the class was over, we did our investigation. And of course, he sat through this, he paid his fees, and he was more than polite and professional. But by the time the class began its investigation at the end of the night, within a matter of 20 minutes, he suddenly became a believer. As we say, he found the light, and the blinding light of the obvious, and he actually had something happen. And it scared him so bad that he actually did go out and sit in the car for a while. Came back in, he was shook. I mean, he was pale, and I remember distinctly what he said to me. He looked at me and said, "Wow, this shit's real, isn't it?" And I think that was the epiphany that, that defining moment of when he became the believer was when that happened. And from that point on, he was more than interested. He told me he wished he could take the class over again. He wished he could listen to some things a little more intently. Suddenly there was an interest. I think until the skeptic gets that moment, they're going to remain a skeptic. And just for some figures, to think about statistics. According to several studies, 45% of Americans believe in ghosts, while 18% report actual seeing a ghost. That means millions and millions of people have had a paranormal experience. This is a lot of people who would need to be discredited or be in some devious plan if the paranormal didn't exist. And some of these folks are very famous. We can go through, there's several sites that list people who believe in paranormal, celebrities that believe in paranormal. You'd be surprised how many do. As part of our class, we list a great many people that believe in the paranormal, believe in ghosts. So, that does exist, and I think that to the point that belief exists, rather, to the point that it's more widespread than you think. More people than you would know probably actually believe in ghosts. If you were having a dinner party one night, oddly enough, that this subject matter would appear, but if you would ask them in the dinner party, your guests, how many, just out of curiosity, for sake of conversation, how many of you believe in the paranormal, how many of you believe in ghosts, and be surprised, there might be some that believe in ghosts, not UFOs, not cryptozoology, might be some believe in cryptozoology and not UFO and ghosts. So it's kind of interesting when you run that survey, if you will, as to how many will respond back. So converting a skeptic, no. And we don't try to. We believe that parapsychology will convert the skeptic on its own. I think most religions will tell you that when they try to convert followers, that they want them to have that oh wow moment, that blinding light of the obvious moment where they suddenly awake and that epiphany brings them to that point. So we're going to say that a skeptic is not going to be something you can change. They have to change on their own. So if we look at analogies, there's tons of things we can compare that to, but it still is what it is. They have to make that change. And we like to try to help them find that material to make that change. Come out and take one of our parapsychology classes, our Paranormal U. Check out the video on that, and you can check out our website, www.spiritindiana.com. For Facebook, please subscribe and like our videos. We appreciate that. For our returning viewers, we appreciate you. For Instagram, please follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and again, if you're interested in the Paranormal University, look up on our website, go to Paranormal U, and sign up. On behalf of Spirit, thank you very much.